Hello and welcome back. I'm so glad that you can join us again. Today we're going to be reading chapter 8 from Holes. But before we get started, I want to review your last question. Now in chapter 7, I asked you to pay very close attention to the event that took place between Elia, Myra Mankey, and Madame Zeroni. This event was presented to us in flashbacks, meaning we kind of got puzzle pieces of the story throughout that chapter, right? And it was broken up by current events and then those flashbacks, those past events. And then at the end of the story, I wanted you to summarize this event, so you kind of had to put the puzzle pieces together. But when we think about summaries, we want to make sure that we're incorporating the most important parts of the story, thinking about the beginning, middle, and end. And that is what our somebody wanted but so then method helps us do. So you guys did a really good job with this. This was definitely a more difficult summary that you've had to do, and I was very impressed by your responses. I made a summary of my own, and I want to share that with you. So for chapter 7, the event between Elia Yelnats, Madame Zeroni, and Myra Mankey, I said, Elia wanted to marry Myra, but he didn't have a pig to trade for her hand in marriage. So Madame Zeroni gave Elia a pig, and in return, Elia promised to carry her up a hill. Then Elia sailed away to America, forgot to keep his promise, and was cursed by Madame Zeroni. So that definitely started with the beginning. We have the most important parts of the middle and the ending in there. I know it can be kind of tricky to eliminate details and thinking about what's most important in a story, but you guys did a really good job with that. So we're going to read chapter 8 today, and then once we're done with chapter 8, I have a informational text for you about yellow spotted lizards, and that is in Google Classroom. So we're going to do a little bit of a mix-up today. We have some reading literature standards that we're going to focus on, but then also I'm going to have you look at reading informational once you're done with this. Chapter 8 is pretty short, but I want you to focus on, here's your I can statement. I can use specific details from the text when describing settings, characters, and events. Chapter 8 mostly focuses on characters. Now, when we think about characters include both people and animals. So in this chapter, we're focusing mostly on yellow spotted lizards, but those technically are characters within a story. So your task at the end of this is going to be to describe Camp Green Lake and include descriptions of yellow spotted lizards. I then asked you to draw a picture, and I want you to share those pictures with me. You can have your parents post pictures on Classroom Dojo, you can send me a message, or you can post it on our Google Classroom. But I want you to share those with me, and then once you're done with those, keep those pictures and descriptions, because later down the road when we get to a different chapter, we're going to kind of compare and contrast that with something else in the story. So let's get started reading chapter 8. A lot of people don't believe in curses. A lot of people don't believe in yellow spotted lizards either. But if one bites you, it doesn't make a difference whether you believe it or not. Actually, it is kind of odd that scientists named the lizard after its yellow spots. Each lizard has exactly 11 yellow spots, but the spots are hard to see on its yellow-green body. The lizard is from 6 to 10 inches long and has big red eyes. In truth, its eyes are yellow, and it is the skin around the eyes which is red, but everyone always speaks of its red eyes. It also has black teeth and a milky white tongue. Looking at one, you would have thought that it should have been named a red-eyed lizard, or a black-toothed lizard, or perhaps a white-tongued lizard. If you've ever been close enough to see the yellow spots, you're probably dead. The yellow-spotted lizards like to live in holes, which offer shade from the sun and protection from predatory birds. Up to 20 lizards may live in one hole. They have strong, powerful legs and can leap out of very deep holes to attack their prey. They eat small animals, insects, certain cactus thorns, and the shells of sunflower seeds. So we're on page 42. That was the end of chapter 8. So make sure you submit your response, your description in Google Classroom, and then share a photo with me of that picture that you've created. Once you're done with that, you do have an additional assignment. It's a very short, very interesting informational text that kind of stems from this idea of yellow spotted lizards. I look forward to reading your responses. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.